So you both have kind of dropped two key jewels already on the audience that's watching.
I love it when I do that and don't even know it, Carl.
Yeah. So you've already said that in order for someone to get started in this market and to invest is, number one, understand the three buckets. What are the different types of investments into this market? Distressed property taxes. And understanding which one they want to do. So if they understand whether it's a lead, whether it's a deed, whether it's a hybrid. Now that I understand that, now it sounds like the next thing I need to do is start understanding what are the rules, right? Is my state a deed? Is my state the lien? And if it's not, then it's got to be another state. And I think, and we're going to get into this in day 2 and day 3, and I don't want to go too far because I know you guys are going to show off your tool, and I can't wait to show the world what you guys have back there. All these hedge funds are using it, and now all the individuals get to use it. This is going to be super awesome. How they can do the research and figure out what state makes sense for them, and so that they can do those transactions without flying across the world. Thank God to technology and Brian, and being able to do that over the counter online. So anyway, so those are the two pieces that they've already given us. Understanding the lien, the difference between a lien, a deed, and a hybrid, determining which one of those makes sense for your investment model. And once you understand that, now we need to start researching the counties and understanding how that fits into what you're doing. Because the county you live in may not be ideal for your investment. You may need to go to a different county. You may need to go to a different state. So is that about right? Am I saying that right, guys?
Exactly. If you were to sum up 30 minutes of us babbling, that's about right.
There it is. You did it.
Awesome. Okay, so we talked about all of this, but now who are these for? Like, can anybody do this? Can my son go down to the auction if I give him an allowance for $500? He wishes. I won't do that. But, it takes $500 or $50,000 and goes. Can anyone do this investment? Do I need a license? Do I need to go register? Do I need to have some sort of degree? What do I need to do in order to invest?
Again, every state can be different. I'll say on a very high level, almost anybody can buy these. You don't, in most cases, you don't even have to be a U.S. citizen, quite frankly. But there are some states or areas where you literally have to be a citizen of that state or county. I mean, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel, Missouri still requires you to be a Missouri resident, or that
you can have a Missouri registered agent. And not have to be a citizen, but you have to have a Missouri registered agent working on behalf of your company, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's no licensing process to buy these. There's usually a process of registering with the county, and you typically they make sure you don't have any other delinquent taxes on properties in the county. And if you meet very basic criteria, they'll let you spend your money. And I guess that's a very key thing to also keep aware of, is the county is not going to look out for you either. In researching all of this, and maybe we're getting way into in the weeds, is
buyer beware.
The county will certainly help you buy whatever they're looking to sell, but they're not going to prevent you from buying something that maybe you shouldn't. Probably the best example I can come up with is there are liens on a very regular basis that we see that is literally a chunk of sidewalk or a long narrow strip next to the highway, or there's really no value to that property to most people anyway, and the county has no problem selling you that lien or that tax deed on that piece of property. And so take that to heart, or take it with a grain of salt, in knowing that the county will give you enough information to make sure you can buy, but they're not going to do your job for you.
Wow. Yeah. And one thing I was going to expand on that too is this is where I think that county or jurisdiction interpretation comes in, Carl, because each Brian touched on there's registration process. So you asked about your son. I mean, usually that registration requires an ID. So I don't know how old he is, but that's part of it. But they also, many of them require a deposit. So they require you to, have a chunk already kind of in their system so that when you go to buy, they know you're good for it. That's a key piece of a lot of their registration processes. I don't see that. That's probably, lower, probably about 50-50 where they require an actual registration and or deposit, and where they don't. More and more online sales require it versus, live sales. They might just make sure when you come in, you got to show them your driver's license and mark it down on a sheet and you walk in. It's pretty incredible what they don't make you do. But, a lot of counties will certainly make sure you've got money up front. And that's something to keep in mind, and have your money ready, because they'll want payment immediately, right at the end of sale. So that's kind of a key piece too. So Each county, this is kind of the piece where each county, if you've decided where you want to go, kind of broke this down, right? But then once you decide where you want to go, you want to call that county specifically. Even if you've done all the state statute research and you feel all confident and ready, go and ask that county, because I can bet you that county will have one little weird niche thing that wasn't mentioned in any sort of statutes that you need to be prepared for. So.
Wow. Okay. So it sounds like individuals, experts, funds, small businesses, anybody that wants to do this, they can do it. Okay. Well, awesome. That's great. That opens the door for a lot of people who make this type of investment. And again, we're here today with Tax Sale Resource founders, Brian and Rachel Seidensticker, and they're just dumping a lot of information on us here on the basics. So if you're not ready for this information, I go get you a double shot of coffee and, be ready to just sit down and check out all this content, because it's super, super good.